So we are going to start. Okay. My name is Heather Marshall, and I am co-chair on the Community Advisory Committee. Thank you for joining us this evening for our business meeting. For right now, I am going to go ahead and turn it over to our secretary, Tristy Grates, and she's going to take roll call.
Right. So meeting was called to order at 6:32. Yes.
Correct. Yes.
There
Sorry
we
about
go. No, it's all good. Okay, roll call. Heather Marshall, you're actually here this time. I marked you here last time because I saw Heather in anyway. So yeah, you're here. Rosabelle is not, but she let us know she's here. I'm here. Jill, are you here?
I'm here.
Thank you. Copy. There we go. Kia, are you here? Not yet. Heather Osborne? Nope. Allison Smith?
Yep, I'm here.
Thank you. Chris is here. Nadine Clark? Nope. Faith? I see
Here.
Yep, I see Faith. There we go. Andrea? Is she here?
Here.
See. Oh, I see her. Hi. Liz Dahl. Not yet. Katie Ward. Nope. Luis. Not here. Wow. We're Miriam is out with the flu, and Araceli. Okay. We do not have quorum right now.
I was just going to ask, do we meet quorum?
Nope.
So we will have to wait a couple more minutes to see if anyone else joins before we can start and proceed with the meeting.
Luis is here.
Oh, thank
Luis.
you. We're at 8.
Tristy, what do you need for quorum?
I'm counting people. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 12, correct? If we're at 16, we need 12. Heather Marshall?
Sorry, I
Yeah.
thought I was unmuted. Yes.
Yes,
that's
okay.
correct.
You want me to start sending out some text messages?
We had a couple people just join us, but I
Okay.
don't know if they
I was
help.
gonna say we can wait another minute or two we need a couple more. We're at 12.
No, we need one. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We're only at 7. Okay. Sorry, everyone. We have to wait until more members, CAC members join before we can proceed with the meeting. We have to meet quorum in order to have this meeting.
Yun, 7 parents ng ano. Ito yung the meeting as well. Like the programs for the kids with special needs. Like, you need to be proactive with your child.
Okay, I'm sending text messages to people who aren't here.
In the meantime, Jody, would it be possible for you to share the agenda, screen share the agenda?
You know what, Chris, do you have that one right there? If you pause, I can go back into my email. I did not have that pulled up right here. I
Sorry
usually
about that.
pass that off to
I
Chris.
don't have it pulled up either, but I can go on my
Okay.
email as well.
The race is on. Here we go. We'll have it in 1 second.
All right.
Heather, what names are we looking for? Interesting. Who are we looking for?
We're looking for Kia, Heather Osborne, Nadine, Liz,
I
Katie.
think Kia just sent an email saying she had laryngitis and wouldn't be attending.
Okay.
I just saw it in my
Got it.
emails. So
Okay. So yeah, Heather, Nadine, Liz, Katie, and Araceli. Who else am I texting? Heather. Oh, I don't have Heather Osborne. If somebody's got Heather Osborne on their phone,
I'll reach out to Heather Osborne.
Okay. Or Nadine Clark. I only have our new members on.
Who else were we missing? Katie?
Katie.
Do you want me to ask? I see Kia's email as well. Do you want me to ask if she can listen in?
That would
Since
be
she-
wonderful. Thank
Okay.
you.
I don't think this has happened in a while, actually. We had to wait. I apologize to any families and all of our directors and board members on for the delay. I'm messaging Nadine.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Are you able to see the agenda?
There it goes. Yes.
Okay, Chris has it shared. Perfect.
All right, I sent Kia an email.
Thank you. No one else has joined.
What do we like? We know for sure what we need for quorum. Is it a percentage or amount of board members?
I believe if we have 16, then it's 12,
That's what I thought too.
because I thought it was half members, but it's not. It's, I think Heather Plotsky said it was, yeah, I don't remember the percentage, but yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my goodness, come on. Are we able to go on to things without voting? While people hopefully hop on?
That I'm not sure of.
Yeah, this is Luis.
Thank you, Louise.
So, yeah, in our bylaws, only a quorum is required for voting. So at this moment, if we have meetings, we can take an action on that and approve them. But if no quorum is not established, no new business can be conducted. So everything we can do now is just informational, and that would be fine.
Do you guys want to proceed with that then?
Thank you, Louise.
Yes.
We can definitely do that. We just won't approve the minutes while we're on here. If we have to push it to next month's meeting, we can do that, correct, Louise?
Yes, or until, let's say later on, we have a
More
quorum
members.
that at
Right.
that moment.
Perfect.
Yes,
Okay, great.
Thank you.
no problem.
All right.
That was our CAC member Louise, governance bylaws. Okay,
Do you want me to go on to public input?
yes, go ahead.
All
Go
right,
for
so
it.
public input is an opportunity for members of the public to share comments and concerns with the CAC. In the interest of time, speakers are limited to 3 minutes each with a total of 15 minutes allotted for all public input. Please respect student and personnel privacy. CAC members and district staff cannot respond to individual concerns in this forum, but will take your contact information for future follow-up. The committee in this section takes no action, and I checked our forms and nothing had been submitted via Google Forms. Is there anyone who would like to make a public comment? You can either unmute yourself or raise your hand. I'm
I
not,
want to make a comment.
okay, go for it, Lisa.
Sorry, Josh is in the car with me. We're coming home from Westview from the lacrosse practice for our daughter. But I just wanted to give you guys great feedback that Josh is thriving. And because he has a 1-on-1 aide at Willow Grove in Ms. Dunn's class, thanks to Heather Schauder's blessing, hard work over the summer, and Chris Coriat too with his summer school program for Josh, he's thriving. And with Prader-Willi syndrome, we just had his triennial IEP over Zoom. I'm happy to say that the 1-on-1 has made all the difference for Josh in keeping in on the campus, which is my greatest fear because of Prader.
Lisa, you froze.
Yeah.
Husband Neil and the siblings of Josh, peace of mind. So we just want to say thank you to PUSD and the special ed program and everybody on board. Cool experience for Joshua Greer. So thank you. The 1-on-1 aid doesn't change for Josh.
Thank you, Lisa. Are there any other public comments?
Yes, this is Brian. This is my first time, and I wasn't quite sure whether I should be asking a question or making a comment with respect to CAC. But if this forum is the appropriate platform to ask a question, is that something that you guys could listen to and try to get some guidance from anyone in the field of expertise?
That is correct. We will listen to your question and someone either from the CAC or from the district will reach out to you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Brian Kim. I have a son who has cerebral palsy and is attending Westview High School. He's enrolled in IEP. A couple weeks ago, he was, I would say, in probably close to assault or attack by a math teacher. He shoved paper into his face. My son was traumatized, and we elevated that issue to the authorities at school. He was not able to attend math class. Since then, we were trying to go back. The teacher admitted his sort of unfortunate behavior and attack to him. As said, he will apologize, but he has changed his mind since then, and he refused to apologize. And my son cannot go back because apparently the school says there's a fear of safety between the teacher and the student, my son. And so we are trying to resolve this. And so we're trying to get the IEP meeting going. We requested it. It's been a holdup, and they're trying to find an excuse not to have a meeting, and we're just sort of stuck as to what needs to be done to resolve this, and what's the best way to address and resolve amicably. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Are there any other public comments at this time? Going once?
Am I allowed to make a public comment?
Of course you are.
Okay. Public comment. I just wanted to reflect upon something I've been noticing, not mostly with my own child who has an IEP. I have some concerns about digital citizenship. And this has been actually something that's mostly since my child has been required to use the district Chromebook, which we hadn't done until this fall. And I understand the reasons why. And I understand there is some ease to it, given the cloud-based system and that the district regulates it. However, for a child who's vulnerable to some of these dopamine hits, for lack of a better term, that have to do with the screen, I have a lot of concerns about what's happening with our kids that are not IEPs that have some neurodiversity or are lagging in some of the developmental skills of impulse control. And to be honest, my son burst into tears this morning because he had made an impulsive decision during a period of loneliness last night when he was anxious. And we used to regulate his use of the iPad and the, when it was under our use. And I think that's a privilege we had, and it's something we can go back to, but I don't think it's a privilege every family has. And so I just wanted to express that as a person who's also on the CAC, is that we don't have anything we can't access the settings on the district Chromebook. Sorry, I got muted. So I just wanted to express that, and maybe that's something that we can reflect upon as a CAC, or maybe there's information that we can gain about that, what's being done to help our kids.
Can you clarify really quick what settings you would like to, so I can just put it in the
For
notes?
example, yeah, thanks for asking. For example, on the iPad, on if we owned the device, we would be able to go into the device and regulate what was allowed to be downloaded or accessed. And I realized that from the district end, I get that they're monitoring, you're all monitoring what kids are searching and what they're accessing, but we didn't know that there was a Minecraft education edition until like a couple months ago. And it wasn't anything that my kids were ever interested in. And not that I judge, I mean, they love it now, but my kids have always been like, especially my child who has an IEP, has always been more of a nature kid. Like he's a sensory based, like in the dirt with the sticks and the mud, like hiking on the trails. And all of a sudden, one day I see him on his school-based Chromebook playing this Minecraft education edition. And he tells me about it. And he's so all of a sudden really savvy at it that it made me a little panicked, given that we had previously used a device that we purchased and we were able to regulate. But I click on the settings and I can't do anything with this device. So short of, and we explained to my child, we want to be transparent in helping him build the skills as opposed to shutting off the Wi-Fi at night. I mean, that's not what we would like to go for, where I know a lot of families do that, and that's okay. But we would rather help him understand that this thing might call to him and it might be like a temptation, but we'd rather him build the skills around that. And we can't do that if we don't have access to the settings. And that's something that I think, yes, we have the privilege of going back to a device we purchased, but not every family has that privilege. And I wonder, especially for our kids that are more vulnerable, what are we doing as a district and what can we do more of?
Thank you for clarifying.
Thanks for asking. I didn't exactly bringing it up, except it came up again this morning, and it's come up like once a week in our home. And I just decided it was time to make a call.
Perfect. Are there any other public comments? I also saw the RSLE came in, so thank you. We are now at 8, which is half. Looking at our notes, we are good to go. So, but before we move on, are there any other public comments?
I had a public comment.
Okay, go for it, Heather.
Hi, I'm Heather Marshall, and I have 3 kids in the Poway Unified School District with IEPs, for those who weren't aware or are new on here. I've been to, well, I can't even count how many IEPs in 1 year. I probably usually at least have more than 4 or 5 a year between all 3 kids. So I just wanted to make a comment, which was not being notified when a program specialist is not going to attend a meeting, because in the past, I've always been notified by the case manager if the program specialist will not attend. And I do understand that as long as there's an admin present to take notes, that, and it's not a pressing IEP, that the program specialist does not need to be there. However, it would be nice to be notified or asked to the guardians, caretakers, or parents if we would like the program specialist to be present or not, especially when it's a new face, a new person to your child's case. It would be nice for them to come to the IEP meeting. That was my only comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. All right, wrapping it up. Anybody else have a public comment? 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. Moving on. We are going into approval of minutes. Did everybody have a chance to look at the minutes for February?
And just to double check, Tristy, we did meet quorum.
Yes, we are at quorum now.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Does anybody have any discussions about our minutes? Nope. Do I have somebody who wants to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion. This is Luis.
Thank you, Luis. And does anybody would like to second that motion? Go ahead and unmute. I'm having a hard
I'll
time.
second, this is Jill.
Thank you,
Jill.
Jill. All right, and if you guys can use your little toggle fun things at the bottom, your reactions, and raise your hand if you are in agreement, or a thumbs up for all yeah, all in approval. Let's see. Going down. One. Do we have to, I'm not seeing a ton of people raising their hand. There we go. Now I have it. Okay, any nays? Go ahead and put those down. No nays. All right, motion carried. Thank you. The next thing is interim chair, but our interim chair is on an airplane right now. So I think, Heather, are you moving on from that, or was there
Yes.
something? Okay, we're passing.
So moving on is our Board of Education liaison report, and we have Michelle O'Connor Ratcliffe joining us tonight to give us that report.
Hey, everybody. Nice to see you all. I know 2 months in a row, this is unheard of, but we had to shake it up a little bit. Our board meeting that is normally this week, would be this week, got postponed to next week. So that moved everybody around. And anyway, nice to see you guys again 2 months in a row. A lot of great things happening, but again, because I haven't seen our agenda for next week's meeting yet, I can't give you any previews, but I do think there are so many great things happening right now. I'm sure we'll hear about it from the special ed department, but they are working so hard, and I think just crushing it. The parent ambassador presentation from yesterday was great. The transition meetings, moving from preschool to kindergarten or TK, and then from elementary to middle and middle to high, those are ongoing, and those have been great. And it's a lot of work and a lot of time, but I think it's a lot of value add for our families. The access diploma pathway presentations from Tiffany King have been sensational. Frankly, I've heard it 3 times now, and I'm still hearing something new every time. So thank you to them. And I just kudos to our department here. I feel like they're doing a great job. Last month, I talked to you guys about my hopes that our Cal Unified Performing Arts groups would begin offering more inclusive audience experiences. And I have some great news on that front. Westview Theater Company said yes. So their April 4th performance of Beauty and the Beast will be a sensory-friendly show. Their drama teacher there, Robert Townsend, is very familiar with sensory friendly performances. He actually was an actor at the Old Globe down in Balboa Park, the Grinch that they do every single year, and was, very familiar. They do that sensory friendly show every year. So they said yes, the students are excited. I did a write-up for their website of what a sensory friendly show is. Students are creating a social story, character song and scene guides, a video tour of the theater, a sensory map of the theater. We've blocked off the last 3 rows for movement space. If kids want to get up and walk around or make noise like further back in the theater, or they need to leave and come back, they can hang in the back for a little while before heading to their seats. So there will not be a live band at this one, so they can better control the volume in the room. A lot of great things that they're going to try to implement for this show. And I just definitely want to give a shout out to them. Oh, I'm purchasing some fidgets with the Westview Theater logo on them for the show too, to give out to our attendees who come to that show. So please feel free to push this information out. The students are still creating their flyer for all of their shows, but they do go on sale this Saturday morning. So if you want to check it out, the information will be pushed out, but I'm very hopeful that it's going to be a huge success, and other groups and other schools will follow suit very, very soon. And I was very excited. I know we had people here who were really interested in helping out if it was needed, but the kids jumped in right away. I mean, I talked to them about some of the things that we might need, and they went, oh, can I make the video? Oh, can I write that character scene? Oh, I know what that is. And they're already involving the Westview Best Buddies Club and trying to run some things past them. Is this what you would need? So I love that the kids were so gung-ho about it. And they actually added an additional show for this. So I'm very excited. I hope you guys are too. Spread the word. Another issue, another new thing, another inclusion initiative that I'm pursuing right now is I'm hoping that we can begin in our district to have all of our schools qualified as unified champion schools. And if you haven't heard of that, it's a partnership between Special Olympics and schools. And Southern California Special Olympics in particular, it comes with funding, it comes with expertise, it comes with all kinds of great, they have nice package sets. And it turns out that Adobe Bluffs Elementary School in our district is doing it. They're going to be certified this year as the first one in Poway Unified. And it happened that I was at our annual education conference for school board members, heard a presentation about it from Murrieta Union School District. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but Murrieta, not too far north, and reached out to their board member, and they are really interested in meeting with us. So Associate Superintendent Mizell and I will be meeting with them as soon as we can find a time that where our calendars match and see what that meant for them, because all 5 of their high schools are now unified champion schools, which means they do unified sports and the whole deal. It is students with and without disabilities training and competing together on 5 different sports that Special Olympics will give you the equipment, they will give you all the training. It's pretty amazing, actually, and I can't believe I didn't know about it before. Unified track and field, in fact, is actually recognized by CIF right now, and they do track and field already. We just don't do it here, and why not? Maybe we can. It's a whole school strategy, and I believe that we already likely have the infrastructure already here with our No Place for Hate designations at schools, the Unified Sports, Inclusive Youth Leadership, and Whole School Engagement is very, very similar to that No Place for Hate piece. And if all it takes is adding some disability and inclusion to those already really important topics that our schools are tackling, it feels natural. I think we can do it. I'm excited to learn more about it and see if we have some more takers after Adobe Bluffs shows off their work. Because they're going to get some check. They're going to get a big check apparently pretty soon here. So I think some schools will be excited when they hear about that angle as well. And I guess the last thing I want to touch on, again, since we don't have a meeting, I'm just kind of things that have crossed my email and my studying. I'd like to invite everybody here to join me, Megan Gross, our amazing Inclusive Practices TOSA, and parent ambassadors in a Zoom presentation coming up March 27th at 6 p.m. It's a panel discussion and a presentation to the Palomar PTA JEDI Committee. It's going to be talking about ways that PTAs and schools can be more inclusive and more sensitive to the needs of our students with disabilities and their families. When it comes to school events and room parent challenges, yearbook representation, things like that. So again, contact Palomar Council if you're interested. I know that they are always interested in the CAC, and I don't know if they're reaching out. I don't know if there's been good crossover yet, but they're interested in the disability angle for sure. And this is their attempt to do something good and educate their members and PTAs all across Poway Unified. So please look into that if you're interested. And that does it for me, unless there are questions. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Michelle. As far as the Palomar Council goes, is that some information? Because we haven't received anything as far as for the CAC. Is there a way to connect the CAC with them, or?
Boy, this literally has come up every single time disabilities is mentioned in that Palomar Council PTA context. So I would have thought they would have reached out by now.
No.
I I will see if I can make that happen.
Okay, that would be
I'm
great.
shocked that it hasn't already.
Yeah, any
oh,
help is greatly appreciated.
Yes, and the other thing I wanted you guys to be aware of, I don't think I mentioned the date on Westview's Beauty and the Beast sensory friendly performance. It is April 4th, which I believe is your next meeting. So hopefully that doesn't stop some of your children from being able to take advantage of that.
Oh, darn. Well, good to know. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for all that great information. Great things are happening, so that's great. Next is our district liaison report by Jody Payne, and she'll also be reporting the parent ambassador report as well tonight.
I sure will. Thank you very much. And I'm going to go ahead, I'll share my screen momentarily. So I'll first start with the district liaison report. One of the updates that we wanted to share with the group is that there was an interest in legislative day or leg day, as many people call that. And again, as a reminder for the group, that's May 5th. And we're still pending additional information. Heather Osborne, who is not on the screen with us this evening, is someone that said she would be very interested in participating. And so in Jeanette's departure, and the interim of bringing in a new SELPA director, Miss Tiffany King, she stepped into that role. And so she will be participating in some SELPA events tomorrow, and will gather some updated information for us and then share back out to this group. So there's one piece there. One of the other pieces that I wanted to share, and now I'm going to kind of morph between the parent ambassador update and the district liaison update. On March 16th and 17th, myself, Deb Williford, our parent engagement liaison, Heather Osborne, who is one of our parent ambassadors, Tina Campbell, another parent ambassador, and Christy Masloff. We're going to be participating in the State Alternative Dispute Resolution Conference. And even more than participating, we have been asked to present on parent ambassadors. So our topic is parents as partners in dispute resolution. I'm sorry, parent ambassadors as partners in dispute resolution. So we are looking forward. This is the first time that Poway Unified has ever represented or been represented at this conference as presenters. So we will certainly be excited to report back to all of you about this conference and how that goes. And then one other piece I wanted to share out. So we talked a little bit about our the books that we had collected that are related to ability acceptance. And so we had our opportunity, and I would encourage you to take a look on social media, PUSD social media. I've been told it will be coming out this week. We had an opportunity to go and present this lovely stack of books to Westwood Elementary School today, to Miss Michael, who is the principal there, and also Miss Whitelock, who is the library media technician. And I have to say, there's something so exciting about watching a group of third graders participate in having a parent ambassador read to them, and the level of questions that they asked. The particular book that we read today was specifically related to ADA and the passing of ADA. It was pretty powerful. And to hear this group of third graders report out that they were appreciative of the individuals that move forward in affording us all those ADA rights. They recognize that some of the doors when you enter a grocery store, for example, they're on sensors and they'll open, and everyone benefits from having those sensors, not necessarily just individuals with special needs. And that was just one level of the conversation that was held. But I tell you what, in our parent ambassador chat, just seeing and hearing from everyone as the sites are receiving these books, it's been pretty powerful. So one thing that's kind of hard to see is the note on there. So that note says donation by the Cheryl Lee Osborne Foundation, curated by the PUSD Inclusive Practices team, and lovingly coordinated by the PUSD Special Education Parent Ambassadors. So it's a pretty powerful note. I even have goosebumps now as I'm reading that. So wanted to be able to share that out with the group. And again, all of our elementary sites will be receiving these, as well as the Connect Academy. And then I already talked to Chris at the beginning of the meeting, and we're roping him in, and some of our middle school level colleagues out there and then high school as well, so that we can do something like this with our next level. So that is all that I have right now. Back to you, Heather.
Thank you, Jody. Great updates for parent ambassadors. Loving those books. That'll be great once they're at the second level, middle and high school. Okay, so next on the agenda is our chair report. So nothing to report at this time. I just wanted to mention I wasn't able to attend the safety summit last Wednesday, March 1st, but I do know that that had happened last Wednesday, so hopefully others were able to attend. And I believe this was the second of the third, so there's going to be another one here in the future. So that was the only thing I wanted to share on the chair report. There's no old business and to report, and there is some new business now that we have quorum. I did want to propose a couple of things. The first on the list, meeting hybrid next year. I know we tried to in September, which did not work well, but that is just something that I'm proposing because of what some of the members have, asked if we could possibly do hybrid for the next calendar school year. So I just wanted to propose that and see what discussion all of these CAC members would like to have, if they are for it or not for it, but I wanted to propose that. And then the other thing I would like to propose is a CAC member meet and greet. The executive team and myself met, and we feel with so many new members this year, we haven't really got to know each other face to face. It would be nice. It would be very impromptu, just casual, even if we just meet somewhere, just to put a face to the name. And, sometimes people mix me and Roosevelt up. So it would be nice to be able to meet everybody in person and face to face. So those are the two things I'm proposing for new business. So if we could either take, if I'm proposing that, and if we could take a vote next month, that would be great. Okay, so moving on the agenda, thank you. And we're down to our subcommittee reports, and I'm first for events. So I am working with Jody, since she is now our district liaison, interim district liaison. And we are looking to do our spring event in April on Wednesday, April 19th. That is the proposed date. So as long as there's no issues with that date, it will be via Zoom. And it will be kind of an introduction to program specialists. Since we have so many new faces this year, we thought my events subcommittee and myself thought it would be a good idea to have the program specialists come up, introduce themselves, and just kind of give information on who they are, what they do for, in the IEPs or outside of the IEPs, and when to contact them, etc. Kind of like just an informational night. And that would be 6:30 to 8 p.m.
And you said April 19th?
Correct. Wednesday, April 19th, 6:30 to 8 via Zoom. And Jody is helping me get that in the works. So that's all I have for events. And our next subcommittee would be over to Chris for our communications and media. Any report?
Yeah, so it's super short. Waiting on 2 bio forms to be filled out, and then we've got them all. Woo! That's been a big task. And then, just like Heather, I'm gonna meet with Jody as well, and we're gonna figure out this communications thing. So far we're thinking about like putting out in Peach Jar the CAC meetings, talking about the topics that we're gonna talk about, stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, like I said, super short. That's it.
Thank you, Chris.
Yep.
So if you're one of those 2, please get the bios done so we can get all our bios posted on the website, because as soon as we have all of them, then we can post them. We'd like to get that done as soon as possible. So please get those done. I appreciate it. And so does Chris. Next is membership outreach. Trustee, did you have anything to report?
Just really quick, as we're moving forward at the end of this kind of year, and some people will be, we know that Rosabelle is our interim chair. We are looking for people who would like to step into that role. And I think at some point we need to start asking other like co-chair, the other people who are chairing other committees to see if they're going to be moving forward. And if there's something that you're super passionate about, I would love for you guys to email us at the PUSD CAC email. If that's something that you would like to be a chair, a co-chair, secretary, that kind of thing. So what your interests are as we kind of look forward to next year. That's all.
Thank you, Trustee. Okay, next is governance and bylaws. Luis, do you have anything to report?
Yes, I want to thank real quick, Heather. I know you reached out last week for convening this. Apologize, I was sick, but I think you brought some good points in terms of the hybrid. In terms of legislation, back to the AB 361, which we're governed under. That even though the pandemic has officially been called off by the governor as of February 28th, AB 361 still applies up to January 1st, 2024. There is a Assembly Bill 2449 that kind of governs the hybrid model. So I'll be looking at that more. And in terms of the legislation day, we still, I think I like Heather's idea of convening and getting to meet each other. I think that would be important. But at the subcommittees, co-chair, I definitely want to meet with our group and discuss more about the legislative day. And I also want to pass some ideas, just like one of the things that I'm thinking of that I'll run to the board or the group is having a matrix of all the assembly bills that are in the pipeline for special education from the state. I've seen this and others where it just kind of helps staff from probably Unified School District, superintendents and stuff like that. It's just kind of like a matrix of who's sponsoring the bills, where they are in the assembly or Senate. Same thing with the federal government, just so we can kind of be, kind of have a radar on and see what bills that we can support more. I think that would be really beneficial to us. And as part of our, I think our board in this group is also to be an advocate for the students. And I think being on head of that curve, I think will help us more. But that's a work in progress. That's something that once we set it up, the matrix, all we do is update it, and I can personally kind of like take the lead on that and put the workload, and I'm fine with that. But I just wanted to just put that thought out there that this may be coming.
Thank you,
And
Luis.
that's it.
That's a great idea. And that's definitely something that you, myself, the rest of the executive team should definitely meet, which would be Rosabelle and Tristy. And then we could definitely compile that together and figure out, we could give you access to, to sharing and everything with us so that we can have that under our CAC docs. So that's a great idea. Thank you so much. Okay, moving on to community engagement, but Rosabelle is not here today, and she didn't say if she had anything to report, so I believe there's nothing to report at this time. So
Can I just bump in really quick?
Yep.
I know people who had signed up for this subcommittee were kind of asking like, wait, how come we haven't done anything yet? This subcommittee is mostly around LCAP. So once LCAP comes out, then put your tennis shoes on. So it's a very, very much needed subcommittee, but it's very specific. So just we'll get there. That's all.
Thanks, Tristy. And that's a huge portion of the committee. So once that comes, like Tristy said, yep, get ready for lots of documents to go through. Okay, well then we are going to move on to Jill with the Wellness Subcommittee team.
Hello, the Wellness Subcommittee has planned our updated event, which is a reflective group conversation around a topic of interest that has to do with a podcast or a series of articles or a book, if we all have time to read a book, or a series of videos. This month in particular, we'll be sending out a flyer that is specifically related to a podcast around supporting students after the COVID year of school, post-COVID year of school, and some of the things that we as parents might be seeing as missed opportunities for our children, not at all at the responsibility of our educators, of course, because we appreciate them, and some of the things that we might be seeing as parents, because that's also real. And we also have on there a flyer, on our flyer, a link to Shelley Moore's short 5-minute videos that I know that the professional development has been rolled out for our educators in our district. And we thought that it could be helpful to have parents be watching these and involved in the inclusion conversation as well, because I know there's a lot of concern around inclusion, there's a lot of excitement around inclusion, and sometimes there's a lack of information around inclusion. And so since the Shelley Moore videos were part of the PD that was rolled out to educators, we thought it might be a nice opportunity to have some short clips that we could reflect on. So March 29th, we will be meeting via Zoom. An email blast will be going out to all of our parent community. Our goal is to bring parents together to have a reflective conversation about thoughts about the podcast and the videos. If you're able to listen or watch, if you're not able to listen or watch, please attend anyway. Our main goal is to bring parents together around a conversation that is a common interest around wellness. So there we are. Thanks. And thanks for Andrea for her volunteering to help facilitate the conversation that evening. I appreciate it so much.
Thanks, Jill. What time was it going to be via Zoom on
Thank
March
you.
29th?
Yeah, 6:30 to 7:30. And if we happen to go till 8, that's okay with me. But I wanted to keep it reasonable. And, if people can only put their kids in front of a, low stimuli show for an hour, we're okay with that because we've been there. So if anybody needs any suggestions for low stimuli shows, because then bedtime is still preservable, I get it. We've been there, done that. Happy to provide, but yes, definitely an hour. And if we go till 8, happy to do that.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we are now coming to the end of our meeting with roundtable announcements. So our next Board of Ed meeting at 6 p.m. is Wednesday, March 15th. The date was changed originally from this Thursday, the 9th, but it has been moved to Wednesday, March 15th at the district office. And I know you can also Zoom in via virtually as well on YouTube. And then our next CAC meeting is Tuesday, April 4th via Zoom as well. And we will understand if you parents are at that sensory friendly musical, we will not take offense. So we completely understand if you need a night out with your kids to have fun. But otherwise, we will see everyone on April 4th. And just a closing shout out, I just wanted to thank all the CAC members, especially the subcommittee chairs, for doing the hard work. I know we've had a lot of changes, transitions with interim chair, interim SELPA, interim district liaison. So thank you so much for everyone, pulling weight where it needs to be pulled, and for Jody coming on and Tiffany as well to help. And of course, Rosabelle, who ran the meeting last month when I was out on medical leave. So I appreciate everyone's hard work. I know everyone is being pulled in different directions right now. So thank you so much. And thank you for your patience as we navigate with all these changes right now. So just a little patience, please, because I know the district is doing everything that they can, but they're taking on more jobs than they have to and putting on more hats. So and just bear with me and with my team as well. And if you guys ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the pusdcac@gmail.com email. And I will get back to you hopefully the same day. I'm pretty good about checking those. So if anyone has anything else further to say, I would like to close this meeting out at 7:22. We are going to end really early so everybody can get